Welcome to your OSHA mandatory training for PPE. After completing this course, you will be able to define PPE, recognize head, eye, and face safety hazards, recognize noise-related hazards and consequences of loud noises, recognize hand and foot hazards, and select appropriate PPE for each case. First, we will cover the importance of protecting your head, face, and eyes. Falling objects can cause a serious concussion, shooting sparks can burn your face, and splashing chemicals could damage your cornea, eye lens, and retina. The good news is you can avoid most hazards if you follow the rules, use a little common sense, and pay attention. If you wear the right personal protective equipment, or PPE, for the job, then you will have the greatest possible protection for a safe and healthy work environment. PPE is critical and the last line of defense against exposure to workplace hazards. When engineering controls, work practices, and other measures cannot eliminate a hazard, then PPE is worn as a barrier to guard against injury and illness. Examples of PPE include safety glasses and goggles, face shields, hard hats, gloves, boots, earplugs, earmuffs, and respirators. Know that PPE can fail and leave you exposed to hazards, so use clean, well-maintained, and properly fitting PPE along with other protective methods. TMHOH and its associates share the responsibility for a safe and healthy work environment. TMHOH is responsible for identifying and controlling both physical and health hazards. TMHOH will also determine what PPE you need to wear on the job and provide it. OSHA also requires employers to teach you how to use, maintain, and store PPE, as well as follow up to make sure you're using it. In addition, OSHA recommends employers periodically review their PPE program. As an associate of TMHOH, your role is to properly wear PPE as required by OSHA and provided by your employer, complete training as required by OSHA and provided by your employer, daily inspect your PPE for wear and damage, care for, clean, and maintain PPE, notify your direct supervisor when PPE needs to be repaired or replaced. Sources of workplace hazards can be chemical, radiological, and mechanical in nature. Hazards can come in many forms such as liquids, gas, dust, shrapnel, noise, microorganisms, and large objects. Due to the variety of potential hazards, it is important to keep in mind no single piece of protective equipment is capable of protecting you against all hazards. So use all recommended PPE and make sure that your PPE always fits properly. Poor fitting equipment will provide you little protection. In some cases, poor fitting equipment may increase your risk and exposure to harmful hazards. Head injuries are usually caused by the impact or penetration of falling objects, or by coming in contact with exposed electrical conductors. Hard hats, also referred to as helmets by OSHA, are the best protection against head injuries. OSHA requires anyone in an area with potential injury to the head from falling objects or from exposed electrical conductors to be provided with appropriate head PPE. Be sure to use the right hard hat for the work at hand. Each type of class of head protector is intended to provide protection against specific hazardous conditions. An understanding of these hazards will help in selecting the right hat for a particular situation. The right hard hat should have the following features: one-piece shell construction, water and fire resistant, suspension system inside to absorb impact and keep the shell away from the skull, ventilation for comfort. OSHA requires that head protection for all workers meet the requirements set forth by the American National Standards Institute, also known as ANSI. The employer must provide each worker with head protection that meets specifications contained in ANSI standards. The most recent edition of the ANSI Head Protection Standards, 1997 and later, classify head protection as Type 1 and Type 2, and use three classes, G, E, and C, based on electrical classes. Type 1 hard hat, intended to reduce the force of impact resulting from a blow only to the top of the head. Type 2 hard hat, intended to reduce the force of an impact resulting from a blow received off-center or to the top of the head. Once given a hard hat for protection, it's important to not modify the hard hat in any way. Make sure to read and follow the manufacturer's instructions on how to wear, care for, and inspect the hard hat. Inspect your hard hat daily for damage. Don't paint or cover your hard hat with stickers unless approved by the manufacturer or TMHOH. Painting and applying stickers can conceal defects, cracks, penetration, and other damage. Take steps to protect the shell of the hard hat. Don't punch holes in or store your hard hat in sunlight or heat. These actions will degrade the shell. Adjust the headband so it fits snugly around your head, yet leaves appropriate clearance between the suspension system and the outer shell. If you wear a hard hat with a chin strap, adjust it to keep the hard hat securely in place. Don't wear a hard hat backwards unless it's designed for that. Otherwise, the hard hat will not protect you appropriately. Make sure the hard hat fits your head. Don't wear a baseball cap or bandana under your hard hat. These interfere with a good snug fit. Good fit is the importance between an effective hard hat and its ability to protect you. Of all the areas on your body, your face and eyes are among the most exposed on a daily basis. It takes only a single speck of flying debris to cause serious damage to an eye. It's important to remember this fact because many workers are avoiding wearing eye and face protection even when it's available. OSHA requires eye and face protection equipment when there is a potential for injury due to machines, operations, or other job site conditions. TMHOH must provide face and eye protection suitable for the work to be performed. TMHOH must also require that everyone wear the PPE. This requirement applies to everyone in a hazardous area. That includes temporary workers, visitors, supervisors, management personnel. No person is exempt from the PPE requirements. Choose the right PPE for the job. It should provide the following: protection against specific workplace hazards, reasonable comfort, durability and easily cleaned, unrestricted vision and movement, and it also should not interfere with the function of other PPE requirements. If you wear prescription glasses, know your ordinary glasses alone do not provide the required protection. You have three choices. Wear prescription safety glasses with side shields and protective lenses, which TMHOH provides at no cost to the affected associates. Wear safety goggles with corrective lenses mounted behind the safety lenses, or wear safety goggles or glasses that fit over your own glasses. PPE for the eyes can include the following: safety glasses, safety goggles, face shields, welding goggles, and welding shields. Safety glasses are the most common form of eye protection. Safety glasses primarily protect you from the front. They can be equipped with side shields for additional protection. Whenever there are flying object hazards, side protection is required. Many tasks require that safety glasses have side shields. Safety glasses must have metal or plastic safety frames and have impact-resistant lenses. Safety glasses are used for jobs with moderate impact particle hazards. Do not wear safety glasses over regular glasses unless the safety glasses are designed for that purpose. If you have or need prescription safety glasses, TMHO will provide them once again. Safety goggles surround your eyes and protect you from impact, dust, and splash hazards. Goggles are available with removable or non-removable lenses. Some goggles have ventilation openings for air to circulate through the cup to prevent fogging. All goggles are meant to be tight-fitting. Make sure to wear goggles that fit properly and protect you from all potential hazards in your workplace, potentially including dust and chemicals. If you wear prescription glasses, make sure the goggles fit snugly against your face when over the glasses and that your vision is clear. Not all goggles will fit over eyeglasses. Face shields are transparent sheets of plastic extending from the eyebrow to below the chin. Face shields need to be worn parallel to the face, not tipped forward. All face shields are designed to protect your eyes, nose, mouth, and face from workplace splash, spray, and dust hazards. Some face shields are designed to protect you from impact hazards. When impact protection is needed, face shields should be worn over primary eye protection such as safety glasses or goggles. Welding goggles protect your eyes from intense concentrations of light and radiation produced by torching operations. Welding goggles may be worn under welding shields. Welding goggles are rated with different shade numbers to filter and protect against radiant energy. The minimum protection shade number required vary, as the best practice is best to start with a shade that is too dark to see the weld zone, then go a shade lighter without going below the required minimum. A welding shield surrounds your face and head. It protects your face and head against burns from radiation and the intense light, as well as from sparks, splatters, and chips produced during welding operations. Eye protection needs to be worn under a welding shield. Like welding goggles, welding lenses plates are rated with different shades, numbered to filter and protect against radiant energy. To keep your eye and face protection in good condition, inspect it daily. During your inspection, look for dirty, pitted, cracked, scratched, or broken lenses and frames. Keep the lenses and frames clean and in good condition. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for cleaning and maintenance. At work and at home, noise can bombard your ears all day long. Loud sounds come from heavy machinery, power tools, loud music, and even your lawnmower. Hearing loss usually occurs gradually. Repetition of loud noises will take its toll. Your hearing will suffer from long-term exposure to loud noises. The good news is you can protect your hearing. If you wear the right personal protective equipment, you will have the greatest possible protection for a safe and healthy environment. Let's talk about sound levels and how they relate to your long-term hearing. Sound levels are measured in decibels. Let's talk about some decibel levels and what they would sound like. A whisper would be 30 decibels. A normal conversation would be 60 decibels. A vacuum or a hair dryer would be 70 decibels. At 85 decibels, exposure above this level or at this level may cause hearing loss. At 90 decibels, 8 hours of exposure is allowed per day. A belt sander would be 93 decibels. A hand drill at 98 decibels. A snowmobile or motorcycle at 100 decibels. An impact wrench at 103 decibels. Using headphones at maximum volume, 105 decibels. A jackhammer, chainsaw, or rock concert, 110 decibels. A jet taking off would be equal to 140 decibels. According to NIOSH, the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, due to noise exposure, the average 25-year-old carpenter has the ears of a 50-year-old person who has not been exposed to loud noise. When subjected to noise levels greater than 85 decibels, you may experience hearing loss. Remember, however, noise-induced hearing loss is preventable. To protect your hearing, you need to limit your time exposed to loud noises. Decrease noise levels through the use of hearing protection devices, or HPDs. Your first form of hearing protection is limited exposure time to noise. OSHA determined permissible noise exposures that must be followed for all job sites. The permissible noise levels are based on duration of exposure to sounds at certain decibel levels. When it's not possible to reduce the noise or its duration, you need to use personal hearing protection. Realize that hearing protection devices, or HPDs, are considered the last option to control noise exposure. Loud noise can have serious long-term effects on your ability to hear. As you go into other facilities in your normal day-to-day business, you must wear the approved hearing protections recommended by TMHOH's customers. TMHOH must provide HPDs to all workers exposed to noise above the permissible exposure levels, or the PEL. Whenever using an HPD, you may need to compensate for decreased hearing by paying more attention to your environment with other senses. Foam, rubber, or plastic earplugs can be more protective than earmuffs or canal caps. Earplugs may be either reusable or disposable. Before inserting earplugs, make sure that your hands are clean. When inserting them, Shape the earplug according to the instructions. You'll need to lift your ear up and back to open the ear canal properly and ensure a snug fit. If you don't get a snug fit, you won't be getting the best protection. Earmuffs cover your whole ear and have replaceable pads. Many people find earmuffs to be more comfortable. Earmuffs with goggles attached are also available. In order to work properly, earmuffs must make a perfect seal around the ear. Long hair, sideburns, or facial movements, such as chewing gum, can interfere with the proper fit and reduce your protection level. For increased protection, earplugs and earmuffs may have to be worn at the same time. Hearing protection devices, or HPDs, each have a noise reduction rating, an NRR rating. The NRR number should be on the hearing protection itself or on its labeling. A higher number means the hearing protector blocks out more noise. A lower number means the hearing protector blocks out less noise. It is important to know hearing loss is painless, it's permanent, it's progressive, and you don't know that it's even happening. The good news is it's preventable. It changes people's lives. When you're not able to hear, you're not able to communicate as easily, and by simply using that hearing protection that's already there for you to use, you can really save your hearing. Because once it's gone, you're just never going to be able to get it back. Now let's talk about our hands and feet. There are well-designed tools that we use every day. A workplace might have many safety hazards for hands and feet, including struck by, caught in, and ergonomic injuries. The good news is you can avoid most injuries if you follow the rules, use a little common sense, and pay attention. At this point in the training, it is important to cover again your responsibilities as a TMHOH associate. Your role is to simply wear the PPE that's provided. Complete the training as required. Inspect your PPE for wear and damage daily. Care for, clean, and maintain your PPE. And notify your direct supervisor when PPE needs to be repaired or replaced. So, use all recommended PPE and make sure your PPE always fits properly. This goes from your boots to your hard hat. Poor fitting equipment will provide you little to no protection. In some cases, poor fitting equipment may increase your risks and exposure to harmful hazards. There are many different types of PPE available to protect your hands. PPE for hands protects against cuts, abrasions, bruises, punctures, burns, shocks, and absorption of chemicals. TMHOH must provide appropriate hand PPE when hazards are present. Gloves are the most common type of hand protection, although hand pads, sleeves, and finger cots are also used. There are three general types of protective gloves available. Durable, which are metal mesh, leather, or canvas gloves, protect against cuts, burns, and heat. Fabric. Fabric and coated fabric gloves protect against dirt and abrasion. And chemical. Chemical and liquid resistant gloves made from latex rubber, neoprene, nitrile, or butyl protect against burns, irritation, dermatitis, some cuts, and abrasion. Keep in mind there is no single type of glove that protects against all hazards. The safety of your hands is at stake, so wear protective gloves when necessary. Be sure the gloves fit and are neither too small nor too big. When wearing gloves, a buildup of perspiration and dirt can cause skin irritation, so wash your hands often and keep any cuts bandaged. To make sure your gloves will protect you when needed, keep them clean and dry between uses. Be careful when wearing gloves around tools and equipment. Gloves can get caught in nip points or wrapped around a drill bit. Inspect your gloves each day before use for damage and wear. Replace damaged or heavily worn gloves before performing any task. Proper protective footwear is something that may be required. If it is required to do your job, TMHOH will pay for it as prescribed by its policies for technicians and others as prescribed in the policies. When metatarsal guard protection is required, TMHOH will either pay for removable metatarsal guards that fit over your standard safety shoes or boots, or pay for safety shoes or boots with built-in metatarsal protection. It is critical to wear the proper safety shoes or safety boots in many forms of work. In many workplaces, good foot protection is essential. Quality safety shoes or boots protect you from potential foot injuries. If you are subject to slippery or wet surfaces that might cause you to slip and fall, wear safety shoes or boots with thick skid-resistant soles. If you're subjected to anything that would pierce the bottom of your soles, you might think about getting safety shoes or safety boots with steel-reinforced toes and metal insoles with a thick upper material. If you're subjected to hot surfaces that might burn the soles of your feet that could cause you to fall, wear safety shoes or safety boots with heat-resistant soles and impact-resistant toes. If you're subjected to heavy objects, such as barrels or tools, that might roll or fall onto your feet, wear safety shoes or safety boots with steel-reinforced toes, metatarsal guards, and high tops. If you are subjected to electrical hazards that might cause electrical shocks, burns, or electrocution, wear safety shoes or safety boots that have no metal and are non-conductive. Or you could use any combination of these shoes or boots. This training was designed to familiarize you with protective equipment for your head, eyes, face, ears, hands, and feet. You should now be able to define PPE, recognize head, eye, and face safety hazards, recognize hearing hazards, recognize hand and foot hazards, and select appropriate PPE for each case. Remember, no matter what the situation or circumstances, no amount of PPE can protect you if you do not use it. This concludes your OSHA mandated training. Thank you and have a safe day, every day, all day.